Okay, we're ready to go?
Second.
Good. Good evening and welcome to the Village of Larchmont Board of Trustees meeting. Tonight is Monday, November 16th. Let the record show that the entire board is present. We also have with us Village Administrator Justin Ditino, Village Treasurer Kimberly Gutwine, and Village Attorney Jim Stout. If you would all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to
to the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That was better.
We're getting better.
That was not bad at all. Very good.
Sarah, I thought you were being quiet because of your internet. I
Oh,
didn't
was
hear
I
you.
coming in and out? No.
So my announcements this evening will be brief and on topic for the discussions that are at the top of the news lately, not the election, the other discussions that are top of the news, which is the surging coronavirus. Here in Westchester County, we are also seeing a rise in cases. Unfortunately, in the village of Larchmont, specifically in the first 10 days of November, we've had as many cases as we had the month of October. And October was more than September, and August we had 0 cases. So we're definitely rising. On our regular municipal call with the county executive, George Latimer, today, we heard about how the caseload in the county is increasing as well. I believe that just over the past week, there's been 1,000 new cases countywide. We have the city of Portchester is now considered an orange microcluster zone. So they have restrictions to their operations for businesses and schools that we don't have in the rest of the county. Today, the Village of Larchmont circulated an email to all those who have signed up for our email notifications. In that, we explain a little bit about the microcluster metrics for designation and restrictions. And there's a link to the state website so you can see exactly what that means. We also included information about downloading the New York State app, which is called Alert New York. And this then allows people to be tracked and contacted if you've been in close proximity to someone who ends up testing positive. But you can also receive daily updates as far as the positivity rates in the county. I just want to let everybody know, please, we don't want to shut down. We really went through a bad time in March, April, and May. It's going to be hard enough as it is just going into winter. Please, please, please follow the rules. No gatherings indoors of more than 10 people. Keep social distance. And I think everywhere that you go outside in public or indoor in public spaces, you must wear a mask. I have seen increased compliance with that over the last few days. I think fear is a powerful motivator. But I ask every resident to please wear a mask all the time. We also recently this week, the CDC published research that shows that not only do masks protect others, which is what we have been operating under, that presumption that we're protecting others when we wear them, they also protect the wearer so that you receive a lower viral load. You're less likely to become infected. And if you do become infected, less likely to become very ill because you receive less of the virus. So now it's not just that you're protecting others, you are also protecting yourselves. Can't put too fine a point on that, please. We don't want to go backwards. We want to keep our Our lives, at least at the level they are now, which is not normal, but it's better than shut down. And some great news this week in terms of vaccines. Pfizer and today Moderna came out with very encouraging results, 90 and 94.5% effective rates. These vaccines will apparently receive emergency approval and be ready to distribute to small segments of the population by the end of the year. Those would be first responders, frontline workers in the health community, et cetera, and wider distribution into the spring and summer of next year. That's wonderful. That's a great light at the end of our tunnel. It does not in any way mean that we can relax ourselves because there's a vaccine. Because between now and the time when most of us will be vaccinated, another 200,000 Americans are projected to potentially die unless we turn this thing around once again. So let's all keep that in mind. Now we'll move on to hopefully less dire topics of conversation. Excuse me just a moment, but I have to pull up my agenda. The first item following my announcements on the agenda is a report from the police chief, so I'll turn it over to Chief Olway.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. First item I'd like to speak about is a new seatbelt law that was just passed. Governor Cuomo recently signed legislation requiring all passengers in motor vehicles over the age of 16 to wear a seatbelt. Recently, passengers age 16 and older were only required to wear a seatbelt in the front passenger seat next to the driver. We've known for decades that seatbelts save lives, and with this measure, we are further strengthening our laws and helping to prevent needless tragedies. The injuries you can sustain from not wearing a seatbelt can be deadly, and that's a fact whether you sit in the front seat or the back of the vehicle. Seatbelts are a proven way to make our roads safer and lower the number of automobile fatalities. This legislation will go a long way towards achieving that goal and ensuring that all passengers are safe when traveling. In 1984, under Governor Mario Cuomo, New York became the first state to pass a mandatory seatbelt law, and in the same year, according to the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles, approximately 16% of individuals wore seatbelts. By 2008, 24 years after the law was enacted, the compliance rate was up to 89%. That's significant. The Governor's Traffic Safety Committee has indicated 30% of highway deaths in New York are occupants unrestrained by a seatbelt. Safety experts believe that the use of a backseat seatbelt could prevent over 2/3 of fatalities and serious injuries resulting from crashes. This legislation seeks to reduce automobile accident fatalities and casualties by requiring all occupants of a motor vehicle to buckle up. The new law took effect on November 1st. Also, in addition to the new seatbelt law, we have Buckle Up New York, and the 2020 Buckle Up New York Click It or Ticket campaign will take place from November 16th through the 29th. This initiative will markedly be different this year. The intent is still the same: saving lives by getting people to wear their seatbelt. There has also been a dangerous trend of motorists using excessive speeds on our roadways since the beginning of the pandemic. Since early spring, many businesses have reduced their hours or closed altogether, and working remotely is more the norm than not. One of the unintended consequences of these factors is the reduction in the number of vehicle miles driven on our roadways. Regrettably, many drivers have chosen to use the more sparsely traveled highways as their personal speedway and embrace risky behavior behind the wheel. As a result, it is imperative that motorists be mindful to obey posted speed limits, wear their seatbelts, and follow all other traffic laws. For more information about Buckle Up New York, please visit the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee website at trafficsafety.nya.gov. state.newyork.gov. The next item is concerning our recently passed leaf blower law. Local Law 6-2020 has now been approved by New York State. The new leaf blower ban is in effect and is now regulated under Chapter 180 of the Code of the Village of Larchmont. It essentially states that internal combustion or electric leaf blowers may now only be used during the month of April and October 15th through December 15th on any given calendar year. During the months when leaf blowers are permitted to be operated in the village, they may only be operated during the following hours: Monday through Friday, excluding holidays, between 8 and 5:30 p.m., Saturday between 10 a.m. and 5:30 p.m., and Sundays and holidays are for property owners only between 10 and 5. In the event of a hurricane or extreme weather, the mayor of the Village of Larchmont, in their sole discretion, may temporarily suspend provisions of this chapter to allow the use of leaf blowers for debris cleanup. The big difference also in this new law is who is responsible. So if you are in violation of this law and it's not complied with, there are 3 different entities which can be held accountable. It is the party operating the leaf blower, the party employed, who employed the person to operate the leaf blower at the time of the violation, and the party who owns the property where the violation occurs. Any person violating these provisions of this local law shall be subject to fine upon conviction thereof, not exceeding $250 for the first offense, $500 for the second offense, and $1,000 for the third and any subsequent offenses. It is a violation and is not a misdemeanor or a felony. So, and really, the other part of it that I see that stands out is after January 1st, 2022, combustible leaf blowers will be banned. So people should be aware of this and they should be in compliance. I know you've heard this many times before. You're the creators of this legislation, but we have made strides over the years in getting to this point. So we really would like people to comply, and there are penalties if they don't. The next item is about Thanksgiving, this holiday coming up, and it surely will be different here. Thanksgiving is quickly approaching. I'd like to remind everyone that if you're going to drink alcohol, please do not drive. Historically, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and the Thanksgiving weekend are some of the most active times for our bars and restaurants. Although gatherings and outings will undoubtedly be reduced this year to the challenges of the coronavirus, if you're going to consume alcohol, don't drive. Please choose a sober designated driver or call a car service or taxi to ensure safe travel. The police department will be on patrol over the Thanksgiving weekend to enforce driving while impaired and all New York State vehicle and traffic laws in an effort to keep all of our motorists and pedestrians safe. Ma'am, to your point earlier, social distancing, I don't think we can speak about this enough. COVID cases in New York State and Westchester County continue to climb, and everyone should be aware that we are still contending with the coronavirus and that physical distancing is not only important, but necessary to contain and prevent the spread of the virus. Crowds amplify the spread of the virus, so please keep a proper distance in any situation when you're out in public. Also, amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, all people in New York are required to wear a mask or a face covering when out in public and in situations where social distancing cannot be maintained. The next item is about holiday foot posts. As we enter into Thanksgiving and the upcoming holiday season, there will be an increase of police officers on foot patrols in the business districts in an effort to interact with the public and business owners and create a safe environment for people that are conducting business and shopping within the village. Business owners are reminded to contact the police if they would like an escort while making bank deposits for their businesses at any time during the day. And lastly, I'd like to remind everybody to see something, say something, and stay vigilant in reporting any suspicious activity that may be observed over the upcoming holiday season. If you observe something that may be suspicious, please do not keep it to yourself. Call the 24-hour New York State Terrorism Tips Line at 866-SAFE-NYS, or call the Larchmont Police Department at 914-834-1000, or simply dial 911. That concludes my report. I would be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
To your point about drinking during the Thanksgiving holiday, one of the other changes that came out this week from Albany is that restaurants and bars must close at 10 p.m.
Yes.
After 10 p.m., restaurants can continue to operate takeout only, but no takeout of alcohol as we had back at the beginning of the shutdown in April. So please, everyone, keep an eye out. If you become aware of a restaurant or a bar operating after 10 p.m., please reach out to the local police department or Chief Caparelli as code enforcement officer. We'd like to try to deal with those issues locally first. If necessary, it can escalate to the state liquor authority and they would lose their license. So we'd like to try to avoid that, but of course we need everyone to comply.
That's correct. And certainly one of the other effects, the more general effects of the pandemic has been an increase in alcohol and substance abuse. So we're also keenly aware of that. And obviously, if there's an issue with that, people should seek help. But to your point, ma'am, yes, any restaurant that remains open after 10, it's for takeout only, and no alcohol can be served for takeout.
Right.
Are there any other questions? At this point, I would just like to wish all of your families, you and all of your families, a safe, healthy, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
you. Same to you,
Thank
Chief.
you.
Thank you.
Mayor, quick question. What is
Yes.
then the effective date of the new leaf blower law? Is it the date
For
it approved?
Gas, for the ban on gas-powered leaf blowers is January 2021, but the effective date of the time frame within which you can operate a leaf blower is immediate.
So
As soon as the state received our law. So right now, leaf blowers can be operated on, so that means they can be operated until December 15th. And in the spring, they can be operated for the month of April only. And at no other time.
right. So I am seeing Sunday use by non-residents. So if that is in effect now, we may need to do a note to the public about that.
Yeah, interesting. I haven't myself seen that, but yeah, we should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a few.
Okay. Yeah,
And
no.
by all means, we encourage, it was effective as of October 30th. And by all means, we encourage people to call the police department, especially on a weekend, if Chief Caparelli is not available. And we would certainly be glad to go and address it and enlighten people as to the exact wording and the intention of the law. So we can, prevent that moving forward.
Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, you're welcome.
Next up on our agenda is the report from the fire chief. And in addition to his report, we also have a new volunteer member for the fire department to approve.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chief.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I'll start off with the volunteer application. Miss Amber Miriam Ali. She lives in Larchmont Acres. She's a nice young lady. I had an interview with her last week, and she's 100% on board with serving the community in Larchmont and wants to do her part to join the department in any way that she can. So I recommend that her application be approved. Her background check came back clear. Her interview went well. Her application was posted upstairs for the volunteers to do their perusal, and everything went well. So I recommend that she be approved by the board. If you wouldn't,
Has she had her physical yet?
she did not. I asked her for that. I gave her the application, the paperwork, and that is forthcoming.
Okay.
Okay.
And I will say we vetted her upstairs. Very nice young lady. Wants to be an interior firefighter. Smart as a whip. Works in with the drug rehab people, and she's a very giving human being.
Mhm.
She's a nice asset to the organization.
Very nice young lady. Yes, very nice.
Very good. Did this come about from one of your recent outreach
It
events?
has come from one of our outreach programs, and we have a few more coming down the line. We'll get by the end of the year.
We'll get to that with your report, right?
Well, yeah,
I'm sure.
but I got to run it through the chief for sure.
Okay.
But we have few.
Very good then. Chief Caprelli, thank you. I seek a motion to approve Amber Ali as a volunteer firefighter.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. And thank you to Ms. Ali for joining us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll continue. Firefighter Pilla and Firefighter Manane are two newest career firefighters, are on week 12 of a 16-week fire academy. There were 2 positive cases up at the fire academy of the COVID-19. So the class was suspended for 14 days. And in that time frame, they worked remotely on classroom material, so they weren't falling too far behind. Barring any further delays, they should graduate on December 18th as scheduled and begin their service to the residents of Larchmont shortly thereafter. Annual hose testing is complete. Trustee Bauer, you should be happy about that. With a few
Yes.
with a few failures of our current inventory. Annual personal escape system or bailout system. I don't know if you saw the simulator out back that we rented, but the annual personal escape system that we have, the recertification is also complete for all firefighters. The annual fit testing of our breathing apparatus masks is also complete. All apparatus have undergone annual maintenance, annual preventative maintenance. Thanks go out to village mechanic Mike Schnabel. Annual fire inspections are nearly complete, and they are on schedule to be completed by the end of the year. I filed for a assistance to firefighters COVID supplement grant for additional PPE for all village departments. So the grant will encompass every department will get a share of the PPE that I requested. We should hear that is a supplemental grant. So the grant already was complete, and then they had additional funds where they opened it up to the small departments only. So the larger cities and larger departments are not eligible for this portion of the grant. So it makes it a little easier for the small departments to get the funds. So it looks pretty promising. But that will give us enough PPE should the virus second round get worse and we need to re-up our PPE. We'll have enough for all departments in the village, which should be good. Last, on the fire department side, I'd like to remind everyone now that daylight savings time was 2 weeks ago, and we should have checked our batteries and our smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. We should have had our fireplaces checked for proper operation, as well as our heating units. And always remember to dispose of fireplace ash outside of the home at least 10 feet from combustibles. And if we haven't done that, please do so, because smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors do save lives. On the code enforcement role, I've been busy with winter dining, as you know, Mayor. Meeting with individual restaurant owners on the structures that they're going to have outside, the applications they need to fill out for the village, the heaters they're going to be using. There have been some restaurants that have been open, new restaurants are opening, and some are closing, unfortunately. So we've been very busy with that. Dealing with the snow removal issue that's going to come up in the wintertime. We have to decide what we're going to do with that. And overall safety for the customers, the employees, and the public as well. But yeah, we've been working pretty closely together on that. So it's taken up a lot of time to do that. Finally, I'd just like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, as the chief did. And I hope you enjoy your holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. You too.
Blessings to you and your family.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is a report from the attorney.
Nothing for this meeting, Mayor, except to
Thank-
wish a happy and peaceful Thanksgiving to all of you and your families.
Thank you. Same to you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next, Treasurer Gutwein.
Hi, Mayor. I have nothing for this evening. In the December meeting, we'll go over the second quarter financials.
Very good. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to
And
everyone.
happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Thank you.
Trustee reports. I will start with Trustee Bauer.
I don't have anything to report. I just would like to wish everyone a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Trustee Bauer's internet's not so great tonight, so her voice goes in and out a little bit. I'm sure it was a hearty, happy Thanksgiving. Trustee Froman.
Nothing to report, Mayor, and like Trustee Bauer, I'd like to wish everyone very happy and stay healthy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Trustee Herman.
I report a happy Thanksgiving to all, and also that the Parks and Trees Committee has planted 8 trees funded by the village and on their way to planting 39 trees and or shrubs given to us by Larchmont Nursery. And we are working very closely with DPW, who have their hands full right now with a variety of projects. So Justin, convey to DPW, thanks for all the work that they're doing. We're not finished with the planting yet, but we're getting there.
Amazing. And thanks to Joanne Grossman of Larchmont Nurseries. She's been incredibly generous to the village this year in many, many ways. Trustee Finelli.
Yes, I have a few words. Just so we're all on the same page, paddle tennis is in full swing. This is a great fall and winter sport. Permits are $150 per person. Paddle courts are open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and you must have a permit to play. These permits are good till September 20th, 2021. So it's really one of the best deals in town. Here's the Flint Park Paddle Clinic schedule. Sessions started November 2nd and run through December. There are 4 players for every pro. Space is limited. If you are interested, go to villageoflarchmont.org recreation department. This is for juniors, teens, and adult clinics. For clinics only, you do not need a permit. And I want to say great job by the Recreation Committee and the Recreation Department for putting together an exciting fall-winter sports program. We thank you. Village of Larchmont's annual Spooktacular Halloween painting was a huge success this year. Thank you to all the participants, and a special thank you to the stores that participated in this long-standing tradition in the Village of Larchmont. All had fun. The Larchmont professional firefighters had a fun candy shoot set up, which came off the back of the engine fire truck for Halloween. It was lots of fun for the kids, and lots of candy slid down into their bags from the shoot. LFD always practicing all COVID-19 precautions. We want to thank them for their service and their innovations. We also want to thank the volunteer fire department for their awareness campaign and safety Halloween tips with glow-in-the-dark necklaces, as well as recruitment table, where we have 4 new applicants that are interested in joining the LFD. And 1 person signed up for the LFD event team. Remember the event team, right? When we used to do events.
We'll need it next year, Bubba.
I'm so excited. Which is an organization that assists in the Village of Larchmont events when they do happen in 2021. The Larchmont Fire Department celebrated their annual inspection and dinner on 10/29/20. This is a long and historic tradition in the village, where the elected officials review the apparatus and the volunteers, as well as the paid firefighters. I'm happy to see the tradition continue under these crazy circumstances. I also want to congratulate Teresa Finelli for receiving the Tom Dixon Award for outstanding service to the Larchmont Fire Department. Additionally, Myron Josephs received his 40-year pin from the Larchmont Fire Department, and we're all very grateful for his long, distinguished career with the LFT volunteers. Congratulations to both of you. The Larchmont volunteers will be doing another holiday awareness campaign and recruitment drive on Saturday, 11/28/20, in front of CVS on Chatsworth Avenue from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come on down, talk with your volunteers about getting involved with the department. There'll be giveaways for the kids. Either way, stop by and say hello and say thank you for your service. Wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and God bless everyone, and travel safely and be smart, as you've heard. Thank you. That's it for me, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I also want to thank Chief Caparelli for inspiring us all to continue to show up to training and to do the right thing at the right time. And the volunteers really appreciate your efforts. So thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next up, a report from Village Administrator Justin Dettina.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of comments tonight. First comment pertains to tomorrow. All village employees on duty will be introduced to the Westchester County Employee Assistance Program So Village Hall front doors will be closed from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. while we do that introductory training. The EAP is a program that the village joined along with most other municipalities and some school districts in the county that provide some training and resources to village employees and their families. So we're giving employees an opportunity to find out what that's all about, and quite frankly for myself as well, to see really what the county has to offer in terms of training, staff support, emotional support, and so forth. So that'll be a brief hour tomorrow, but very important hour. Leaf collection. DPW is performing leaf collection. It's ongoing right now. Just a reminder for residents and their landscapers, please just put one consolidated pile immediately adjacent to the curb. That'll help collection. When it's partly on the curb, partly off the curb, it involves more labor to pull it to the street, which is where we use the machine with the claw to grab it. And then those long kind of skinny piles really don't do much of anything besides tie up some street parking. So one consolidated pile per household will make sure that we keep the street open as much as possible and get these leaves collected as quickly as possible. And then finally, some good news to Mike Schnabel and his family. Last Sunday, they welcomed a new baby girl to their family, Mackenzie Schnabel. So congratulations to Mike and his family, and we wish them all the best. And this would be Mike's second child, so he's got his hands full at home. And that's all. And of course,
Great, thank you, and congratulations, Mike.
And happy Thanksgiving to the board, residents, and all village staff. Again, Thanksgiving is a time to be thankful, and certainly the staff is thankful to be a part of the Village of Larchmont's team, as am I. And we're thankful for another year, and look forward to what hopefully 2021 has for in store for us. Thank you.
We're thankful that we have you all too.
Yes.
And Justin, I hate to put you on the spot, but you really do have some good news to share about water in the village. I really think
Yes.
it's taking a minute to tell everyone the latest unaccounted for water report, and also how that stacks up in our recent past.
Sure. So very briefly, the village, since we've gotten the new meters that everyone had to get back in 2016, we've really been able to keep track of a lot of data as it pertains to the water we buy and the water we sell. And to boil it down, a water utility uses a metric known as its unaccounted for water to really kind of measure how it's doing. How tight is the system? What are we losing to theft, leaky pipes, and just kind of basically unmetered usage. And going back just a few years ago to when we were actually able to firmly calculate that number, we were close to 40% unaccounted for water, depending on how you measured it and what numbers you were looking at. And it was quite a hurdle to get a handle on that. And that was definitely a driver in some of the issues that we faced in the water department, and certainly even a driver in the water rates that residents had to, as a result, pay. What we've been able to do since then is hold the water rate flat for a few years, take on additional debt to improve the system. And now, as a result of the hard work of the folks in the water department, DPW, locate and close many leaks. And now we are purchasing and losing less water. And what that means in a percentage from that 40% thereabouts number a few years ago, the month of October was down to 11% of an unaccounted percentage, which is really low. You have to remember, our system is over 100 years old. And when you think about 22 miles of 100-plus-year-old pipe and 1,750 100-plus-year-old service connections and all of the potential issues that can happen, to lose only 11% of your water is really a remarkable number. And that's where we are for the month of October. And overall for the year, we're at 14%, 14 point, I think it's 85 or thereabouts. Very, very remarkable. There's water utilities that are half of our age in the Midwest and out West, that is their target number. And their pipes are not nearly as old as ours. The infrastructure is not nearly as old. So really, really good news from the water utility front. Really, really good work from our staff and from the village board for supporting our staff and our work, and even through the water advisory group, from basically kind of honing in all these different opportunities for data and focusing the efforts and energies of everyone. So that's really good news. Thank you, Carol, for bringing it up. A lot of times we have bad news on an infrastructure front, but this was really good news.
This is something to celebrate, and it's been a long time in coming, and it doesn't last forever. We always have to be vigilant. And that 15% number is a number that EPA uses across the country to sort of gauge what's, I don't want to say an acceptable water loss, but something that's a reasonable water loss. So congratulations, and definitely convey our thanks to everyone in the water department who's worked so hard.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. Next up on our agenda, we have a resolution to set a public hearing. This is a public hearing on a proposed local law to amend the Traffic Commission law of the Code of the Village of Larchmont, Chapter 64, to decrease the membership of the Traffic Commission from 7 members to 5 members. And the public hearing would be scheduled for Monday, December 21st at 7:30 p.m. It will be via Zoom. Zoom link information will be on the village calendar, and the village clerk is hereby directed to advertise that public hearing. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution to set the public hearing?
So moved.
I think Sarah
I
said
saw
so moved
Sarah's lip
first.
move.
And she's the traffic commission liaison, so I'll take hers. And then second, we'll use Malcolm as our second.
Malcolm, yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Okay, so we'll address that in December. Next on our agenda, we have resolutions that were set at previous work sessions. So we did at a previous work session pass a resolution to create a school employee parking zone around Chatsworth Avenue School. This is for employees of the public school, Chatsworth Avenue Elementary School. We had introduced this concept at several previous meetings. And additionally, letters were sent to all of the property owners that are in the zone as a courtesy to them. And several of them attended our previous work session. And now we're on number 10. Here are those persons who wish to address the board. So if there are persons who wish to address the board, please raise your virtual hand. And we'll give that a moment. And if LMC can unmute the hand raised attendee, Mr. Godfrey.
Mr. Godfrey.
Here he comes.
Hello, Mayor. Hello, Board. Thank you for the opportunity to be heard again. First of all, I want to commend Justin and the team on the excellent water news. That's just fabulous. A long time we're waiting for that. Mayor, I just also want to wish everyone a Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to ask one question about the sanitation budget.
Mm-hmm.
I went onto the website in advance of the meeting that was held this Thursday, and it wasn't presented. And so I just wanted to know if that is something that is a public document that should be presented, or if we can look at that, and if so, where can we get a copy of that?
You went onto the sanitation website?
No, I went to the sanitation website, I went to the town website, I went to the village website. I noticed that you added the link to the meeting on
Yes.
Thursday after the meeting.
It was added when?
After the meeting.
Well, that's okay. Thank you.
Listen, hey, I'll take it. It's a great step forward.
It's a step forward.
It's a tremendous step forward.
That wasn't the intention.
No, I know that. I'm not complaining about it. I just want.
To be honest, I have previously asked that the sanitation website include material that's not on there at this present time.
Wow.
But since that has not, I'm not sure what the reasoning is, but it has not happened. I will make sure that any materials I receive prior to a meeting will post on the village's calendar.
That's wonderful, Mayor. I'm grateful for that. Thank you very much. Everyone, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Same to you.
You, Michael.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So for village clerk, Brian Riley, who's on the meeting but not visible, let's just keep in mind that whenever we receive sanitation commission meeting information, we'll post it on our calendar, and then I will share with you any documents that need to get added to that listing. Next up, approve the minutes of several meetings. So we have, hold on just a second, folks. I'm trying to pull up my minutes. So we have the minutes of board meetings from September 15, October 5th, and October 19th. Can I seek a motion to approve the minutes of those 3 meetings?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have minutes of the work sessions on September 17th and November 2nd. I seek a motion to approve those minutes.
That doesn't sound right. November 2nd? September, what was the date?
September 17th and November 2nd. I will, that was the work session where we adopted the creation of the school employee parking zone.
Okay.
And we were all present. So I seek a motion to approve
Was
the minutes of
that
those
work
meetings.
session that I was not present at?
Excuse me?
The work session?
Yes, there are 2 work sessions we're talking about. I believe you're right, the September one, you were not present.
No.
Yeah, so you can't vote. So do I have a motion to approve September 17th?
So moved.
And can we do them together? September 17th and November 2nd?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. And the minutes of the special meetings on September 21st and October 26th. Those were meetings that dealt with the architectural approval of and special permit approval of Centro development project. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Phew. Okay, yeah, we did it. Final, is it going to be the approval of the bills? I'll turn it over to Trustee Herman.
Thank you. I have reviewed the invoices associated with abstract journal number 17 totaling $61,807.95. They are in order, and so I make a motion to approve payment of those invoices. Do I have a second? That looked like Sarah.
That was poor mute Sarah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. And thank you, Justin, Kimberly, and the rest of the treasurer's office. We're down a man and they managed to produce a bill list. So thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, Carol.
So I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting, but before I do so, I want to reciprocate the heartfelt wishes for a happy Thanksgiving to the entire board and all of the village employees. and all village residents, please be safe. Enjoy yourselves. Eat as much turkey as is humanly possible. But
I'm going to try.
exactly, exactly. So have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll return back here for our next village board meeting, December 21st.
Thank you.
Travel well, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Be
I
great.
seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. And to
Aye.
LMCT Media, Sean, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.